So, for example, what should we be doing in Syria? Killing ISIS. And with regard to sending even more troops over to the Middle East, they don't have a strategy. And President Obama has admitted this over and over again, that he doesn't have a strategy. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, he went overseas and said he doesn't believe in American leadership. He doesn't believe in America winning. He said, I don't have time for that. You know, I got to say, I think FDR and JFK and Ronald Reagan were spinning in their graves to see a president saying he doesn't have time for America winning. And so if we don't have any strategy to win against ISIS, then the president just sending more and more troops in harm's way without a plan to win, that doesn't make any sense. And suddenly cause them to throw down their arms and embrace his brothers. We should use overwhelming air power, and then we need to combine that with arming the Kurds. You know, the Kurds, the Peshmerga, the fighting forces of the Kurds, are longtime allies of ours. They're very effective fighters. They're fighting ISIS right now. You know, ISIS is using American military equipment they've seized in Iraq. The Kurds have outmoded weaponry, and yet the Obama administration refuses to arm them for political reasons, because it would upset Baghdad. In a very real sense, the Kurds are our boots on the ground. The American people agree with me that it doesn't make sense to be bringing in people. I think at the end of the day, we shouldn't be worried about getting in the middle of Middle Eastern civil wars. You know, one of the things that makes among the least sense that President Obama has said is he said, well, gosh, we can't do anything effective against ISIS until the Iraqi government reaches a coalition and an agreement between the Sunnis and Shiites. The enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. And if I don't believe in nation building. It shouldn't be our object to turn foreign nations into democratic utopias, to try to turn Iraq into Switzerland. And that's sometimes where we lose track of what the job of the military is. The job of the military is to keep this nation safe, and we do that by killing our enemies who've declared war on us before they manage to kill innocent civilians. To go in, and anyone, knowing what we know now, wouldn't have gone in. Well, what happened? President Obama and Hillary Clinton led the world in toppling Gaddafi, and a number of Republicans, including Senator Rubio, agreed with Hillary Clinton that we should topple Gaddafi. And what happened? Libya instead became a chaotic war zone ruled by warring radical Islamic terrorists, of an immigrant who's seen prison and torture, who's seen freedom stripped away. It is very much the same in Syria. You look at President Obama and Hillary Clinton, and again, Senator Rubio, want to topple Assad. And Assad, like Gaddafi, is a bad man. He has murdered hundreds of thousands of his own citizens. But the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. And if President Obama and Hillary Clinton and Senator Rubio succeed in toppling Assad, the result will be the radical Islamic terrorists will take over Syria, that Syria will be controlled by ISIS, and that is materially worse for U.S. national security interests. The President just sending more and more troops in harm's way without a plan to win. Why are we picking a side in a civil war, particularly because the side that they're picking, in all likelihood, is going to turn out to be the side of al-Qaeda and al-Nusra and ISIS, a side that is even more antagonistic to America than Assad. It's the most consistent failing, Steve, in the Obama-Clinton foreign policy, is it doesn't